I mean, this is kind of interesting. I think if I went back and I talked to, 20-year-old Jason, and when I was frustrated that I didn't get into medical school, I think that I would absolutely advise people to a certain degree to not go directly from undergrad into medical school. I think that not only did I learn, well, first of all, it humbles you. I think most people that apply to medical school have the aptitude to do the job, right? I mean, if you're graduating at the top of your class or near the top of your class, and you've gone through, a major and a minor or two majors or whatever it is, and you're competing against, usually scientifically engaged individuals who are the best in their field all across the country. All right. And so taking that year off sort of humbles you to a certain degree. You realize that the field is filled, no matter what people are doing, the field is filled with extraordinarily talented and smart individuals. And you may think that you're smart, and then you run into other smart people that are really doing the job, and you get to see what they do. I think that's absolutely invaluable. As a matter of fact, I graduated the University of Florida undergrad, and I was disappointed when I didn't get into medical school the first year. And I actually called a meeting with the dean, who agreed to meet with me, and I sat around and I literally asked him, why didn't I get in? And I graduated college in 3 years. I was like a 19-year-old applying to med school, which I think for them was a little bit unnerving. And I think the reality is they wanted to be sure that I knew that I was truly understanding what I was getting into. I did, but at the same time, I was upset about that, because I didn't really think that was very fair. But in retrospect, I think, some of the wisdom of these people that do choose who comes in and goes to medical school and who doesn't, there are usually solid reasons that they pick up during an interview process, or even not during an interview process. I didn't even get interviewed the first time, which is, kind of totally humbling. I mean, I thought I was this awesome applicant. Funny story, I show up at UVA to interview, and they bring you into a small little space, and there's like 3 other interview or applicants, that are with you. And so the person that was sort of diagonal from me was sitting in a chair, and that person was either the salutatorian or valedictorian at Harvard. And then the person across from me had done a year in Africa on AIDS research. And the person next to me to the left was in one of these city year programs where they were helping disadvantaged and, underprivileged youth in like New York City or something like that for a year. And here I was, this dude that was working in a operating room, mopping floors, assisting in surgery, answering telephones. I mean, I was doing everything. And these people were, to me, like, oh my God, how am I ever going to, make it past this first round of interviews? And the reality is I was the one that got in out of that group. Now, they could have gone to other schools. They probably did, because everyone puts out like 40 applications. But the reality is that Virginia saw something in me that, took me on my different path, might have been an advantageous path. Whereas, some of these other folks were doing these other things, which were great, and probably gained them entrance into other schools elsewhere. I don't know where they are, but I just remember sitting in that room feeling somewhat inadequate and thinking to myself, man, I thought I was this great student with this awesome, transcript and high test scores. And it's not always about that, because everybody has great transcripts and everybody has high test scores. So it's not just that. I think medical schools are looking for people with a varied background, and one that can bring a different perspective to their school, and then ultimately give back in a way that benefits either the state or, the school over the long term. All right. I've never practiced in the state of Virginia. Tried to numerous times. I tried to come back. It's one of my favorite places to live. But you can never really say where you're going to set up shop and practice and what jobs are going to be available. This subspecialty, ophthalmology, is extraordinarily small. There's only 16,000 ophthalmologists across the United States. The vast majority of those people, I'd say more than 40%. Well, that's not a majority then. The high plurality are getting old. We're talking certainly greater than 55, and that's nearing the end of one's surgical career. Though people can operate well into their 70s, even if you don't want them to, they will. That's sort of a personal decision when one feels like their faculties start to decline. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how the pandemic plays out with our subspecialty and how many people of age start to cash in their checks, if you will, and close their practices and sort of turn over to a different generation. But the need for eye care has never been higher. Baby boomers are retiring at thousands of people per day. The amount of people going through cataract surgery has never been higher. It has almost doubled in the last 7 years. So the amount of work that is actually out there is increasing at not an exponential level, but it's certainly increasing at a rapid clip in a way that it provides a certain level of job security. So it's a good subspecialty. There's different ways to get to it, and it's one that I think amends itself to a good balance of lifestyle and work.